Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Once again, Kristin, good evening.
Good evening, Susette.
I've kind of missed you.
I know.
I know. Sometimes we have these things that we have to do, and so we end up pinch hitting or finding somebody to sit in, but you always do a great job.
Busy women, and Jess was here.
Jess was here, yes. She did a great job.
A professional.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love her.
She may come back, right? I mean,
Yes.
if we needed her,
Absolutely. She'll guest star again.
Yeah.
And Angela McGurk, she'll guest star again.
Yeah. So we have some fill-ins just in case we have wonderful vacations that we need to go on throughout the year. But we are gearing up. It is spring.
It is spring. I'll agree. I will. I'm usually not.
No.
I'm like, no, it's not.
Kristin, it's not exactly, it's not summer, but it's spring.
It's
okay,
spring.
And you see that just in all the little flowers that are popping up, and it's just wonderful to see. So,
and our schedule is ramping up.
Yes.
My calendar is like, no.
Yeah, but it's a good thing, isn't it?
It's a great thing. If you are out there and you're looking for something to do, the Mystic Chamber of Commerce is hosting Business Before Hours on May 2nd. That is at Leaf Shave. You may have read about them in the newspaper. They are a new manufacturing business, small manufacturing, and they do not have any plastic on their razors. Yeah. So they're trying to be environmentally conscious, and they're over in Togwonk Park in Stonington. So we're going to meet them, and it's a young couple, which I love to see. Yeah,
entrepreneurship.
I talk about people like they're young now.
Anyway. Kristin, just wait. Give yourself just like 5 to 10 years. You'll be talking about, it'll be really young.
Really
young.
Okay.
And then what else?
Well, the business after hours is going to be at Flower Belle Boutique over on Washington Street in Mystic. We love her. She has some really exotic flowers, and she knows how to put it on a good party. So that's May 14th.
So I notice that when you say business after hours, you always end up with a great party. There are certain ones you like better than others. When she says great party, I know those are the ones to attend. But
there's like good cheese and maybe a signature drink.
Yeah, but just a,
that makes
that's
a
our
good
Kristin
party
for you.
I'm easy to please.
Yeah. But just a recap on some of these business after hours and business before hours. It's a great opportunity for businesses to network. And certainly that's a time that you can get in front of people and other businesses to share your product, your stories. And sometimes they could be war stories about, hey, listen, it's really difficult to be in a small business and support us as we support you. And so it's a great opportunity just to get your name out there too.
Yeah.
So we have a great show.
We do have a great show. This is one of my favorite nonprofits, and I like that I can say that. There's so many nonprofits. A lot of people in this area doing so much good for so many people, and this is one of my favorites. So
we have a favorite signature drink, and we have a favorite Kristin Hartnett nonprofit. So there you go, set on TV. So I guess we just set it up and introduce a very, very, very great person in the community. So I'm going to introduce for Always Home, Betty Smith.
Hi.
Good evening.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm just going to say Betty and her husband Bill, which is he's not here with us today, but they have been great supporters, not only for the Mystic community, but for Always Home. And there's a great story here on Always Home. And of course, Mystic Matters and the community of Mystic has been with Always Home for 20 years now. We'll talk a little bit about the gala that's coming up in at the end of the segment. But I'm going to just say welcome, Interim Executive Director Betty Smith.
Thank you very much, Susette.
So you've been with the organization how long?
Well, this is actually the 4th gala that I will be chairing, and I've been on the board of directors for about 2 years or more. So when we had the opportunity and the opening for an executive director, Jeff Anderson, who's been on your show for Always Home many times, has decided to spend a great deal of his time on his own business, which is wonderful. So when we had the opportunity, I said I would love to be the interim executive director, and the board of directors decided that that was a good move for right now.
But I think that was a good fit.
It was a very good fit. From my perspective, it is. I love it. I love the organization. I have a huge heart for the organization. I know it pretty well, from my years working very closely with the staff and just understanding the mission of Always Home, which
I-
of course,
Think that if you say anything about the Smiths, it's like when you say the experience, like maybe you only had 4 years experience, but in the Smiths, it's like dog years because you guys are such dynamos, if you don't
Right.
mind me saying, right? Bill and Betty, I mean,
But
they're
it's
just
always a
powerhouse.
passion,
So
too.
it's like the passion makes it grow. So it's as if you've been there for 20 years. That's what I'm trying to say.
thank you.
Little
Thank you. We have the
compliment.
heart for it, for sure.
Yes.
And I think that's what you have to do when you're leading an organization as well. So the mission of Always Home.
Preventing family homelessness. It's pretty simple. It's been that way for about 20 years. At one point in time, we used to say preventing family homelessness one family at a time. But when we went through the name change from the old MASH, Mystic Area Shelter and Hospitality, to Always Home, a couple of years ago, we simplified the mission to preventing family homelessness, and that's what we do. And
I
we do
like it.
all the way across the whole shoreline of Connecticut to the Limes, to the Rhode Island border, up to Norwich, and some exciting things happening actually in the statewide in that we used to be our area of influence or sphere of influence used to be just southeastern Connecticut, and now we're also partnering up with the folks up in northeastern Connecticut. So it's and it's an expansion to our to those folks that we can provide services to, those folks that are on the edge of homelessness or
Right.
experiencing homelessness.
But Betty, there's no homelessness and there's no such thing on the shoreline.
You know,
Right? I know.
Right,
That's what it seems
there
like.
I
is
hear
a-
it all the time.
What could you possibly be talking about? We are this wealth of communities. There's no such thing. So it's a real problem. It really is. And the problem with homelessness, if you talk with some people who are really, really struggling, and it could be, it could be a single mom who just are on bad times and just needs that little bit of help.
Assistance, some
Right,
assistance.
right.
And we have a number of programs. So yes, there are. You drive through New London, you'll see homelessness. Drive up to Norwich, you'll see homelessness. Drive through Mystic, you don't normally see it.
Right.
But when I say that our mission is preventing family homelessness, we're trying to get it so that we're working with people before they drop off that cliff into homelessness and they're standing on the street. And so we're able to provide a number of different programs that will reach out to people and help people that may need a car or other types of transportation, bus tickets. Some people can't get to work because they can't afford the bus tickets. It might be rental assistance. It might be childcare assistance.
Right,
So
right.
there's a broad range of programs that we offer and that we work with our clients on so that we're able to keep them from becoming homeless, which is, I think, the most exciting thing about the change in Always Home over the last 20 years is that we started as a shelter organization.
That's correct, with Ken
And-
Carpenter and his
Exactly.
vision as well.
Exactly. And we have grown to become more preventative minded and getting in front of the problem instead of trying to deal with the homelessness problem after the fact. Because as we all know and has been said before, the children of families who drop off into shelters and homelessness too frequently become adults that also drop off into homelessness.
It's a
and using
repeated cycle.
shelters. It is,
Yeah.
and we work very hard to break that cycle.
Well, that's all good, and a lot of the things that Always Home does is fantastic. But tell me how you contact. I mean, it's one thing to say we help these people, but there's another thing with having a little bit of pride, and how do we say, I'm in that position, or how do we, as people in the community, say, listen, I know where you can get some help. I mean, once you're there, you have the capabilities of helping these people. But how do we get people there? Or how do you realize within yourself?
It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that you walk out the door one morning and your car doesn't start? And that means you can't get to your job. You're not going to get paid for that day.
Right.
You're not going to be able to pay your rent next week. And what an awful set of circumstances that is. And and those sometimes the smallest thing can make someone be at risk of homelessness. And we'd all like to think that we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and take care of everything ourselves, but sometimes we can't. And sometimes the circumstances are just such that we do need some assistance. So literally, how do they find out about us, or
Right.
how do they contact us?
Right.
There is a statewide system where anyone can dial 211, and they can be put in touch with operators that will assess their needs, and then send them to the agencies that are most likely to be able to help them in their particular circumstances. So we deal with families. Other agencies might deal with singles or with youth. And so that's how many of the clients come to us, are that they've realized that they need some assistance, and they've dialed 211, and they've been sent to Always Home, so that we can talk with them and find out what is the assistance that they need, how can we help, and then begin to use our counsel. We have a social worker, and she counsels with them and finds out exactly what are the circumstances. So sometimes it's not only just giving somebody a bus ticket, but it's finding out what happened before that caused you to come
Getting to know
this
that
point.
particular client.
That's exactly right.
Now, do you have a staff that does all of this, or you also have resources that you can utilize? How's that structure set up?
So as I mentioned, the whole 211 statewide system, we're all kind of partners with each other, all the various agencies and nonprofits that deal with the homelessness issue, the whole spectrum of homelessness. And so we have I call it a small but mighty staff, very, very dedicated. They've all been there for, I think, at least 4 or
Long
5
time.
years,
Yeah.
yes, and our social worker has been with us for at least 10 years. And so they are able to work diligently and together and share duties when necessary to be able to provide these services. So of course, the services can only be provided if we get the funding for our services, since we are a nonprofit.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, so for instance, you have childcare offerings. Is that your own building, you know what I mean, or your own room, or is that a different thing?
No, we're a very efficient organization in that we work with those other organizations that do provide those kinds of services.
Okay.
So we'll make sure that if childcare is needed, let's use that example, that we may work with a mother who has a couple of children that need to have childcare so she can go to work. And we'll work with various childcare providers, and if it's a matter of us paying a month's worth of childcare assistance for her to be able to get back on her feet and begin to pay it herself, etc. So no, we don't provide. We work with the providers of the various services, or as I say, in some cases, it's a matter of, for example, rental assistance. Somebody is a couple of $100s short on making their rent this month, but they've had a good history of paying rent. And we might work with them to say, okay, so this month we'll pay the landlord that $100 and $200 that you might be short. But it's all a matter of working with the clients very closely, getting to know them, getting to know exactly what their needs are.
It sounds incredibly rewarding.
It is.
So what type of other revenue sources
Right.
work with you, or what are you looking for, and how do you get some of these
Sure.
revenue
So
funding?
most nonprofits, probably many nonprofits, are very dependent on state and other municipal funding. We are not. Only about 15% of our annual funding comes from state and municipal funding. We have a grant writer who does a great job finding grants for us, but we are heavily dependent on individual funding.
Right.
So either through our various fundraising activities, like we're the recipient of the charity cook-off, the
Chowder
Chowder Fest
Cook-Off, yep,
from Old
yep.
Mystic Village. We're
Oh,
very
that's
pleased
right.
to
We
be
just
to
did
be
that.
involved with that, and as well, of course, we have our annual gala.
Right. Right. Well, I think we even have a clip. We have a little video
We
that
have a
we
little
want
video
to show.
that has
Frank,
to do
if you want to roll that.
with childcare. Oh,
That's fantastic.
Besides,
So-
now we know what the gala.
I know. I guess we
theme
should. I think we
is.
should
What the
set
theme
that
is.
up right now. What do you think?
I am so excited.
Yes.
Be a Hero is the theme for this year for the Always Home Gala.
It's a superhero theme.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait to
And-
figure out what
And do you
it
have a
is.
surprise for us? I
I
mean,
did.
did you?
I brought
I
a
mean,
very special guest.
did you bring a surprise for us? I mean, oh my God, this is okay. Okay, wait a minute.
Did you
You know,
just?
is this?
Did you
Did you
just?
just?
Spiderman, don't-
Did you just see
don't
that?
go away.
Did you just? There's somebody that just walked in that just like you have
Come
to.
on back,
Yeah, wait a minute.
Spiderman.
Wait a minute. Wait. Are you for real?
I am for real.
Spider-Man, you got come a little closer
Come on
here.
in.
Come on in.
Hello there, ladies.
Well,
How are
hello
my
there.
superheroes doing today?
I think I'm a little. I mean, I did not get dressed up for this. So, what are you doing here?
Well, I had some moment. I was
Yeah.
next door in the gym.
Okay,
And
working
I
out.
figured
Yeah.
that there's a call out for superheroes.
Okay.
For the Be a Hero Gala.
And when is that?
That is on May the 10th, I'm told.
Okay, where's that located though,
It
Spider-Man?
will be at the Mystic Marriott.
Okay, is there like a web between here and wherever you were? Because isn't that how you kind of get around?
He slings
Yeah.
around on his web.
Okay, all right. So then you will make this web to the Mystic Marriott on May 10th. Is this what?
I will be there. I'll be there joined by Captain America, no doubt.
Okay.
The Black Panther. I
Okay.
think Nick Fury will be there. I think
Fury.
Nick Fury? Okay,
Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agent
Oh.
of S.H.I.E.L.D., sure.
Oh,
All
okay.
the superheroes
And
will
of,
be there
and
that
of
night.
course, Wonder Woman.
Of course.
The Catwoman.
Where, where
it's
would
gonna
we
be
be
like-
without Wonder Woman and Catwoman?
Plural, like it's gonna be all the S, like plural.
I think it's gonna be
women's,
women.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man, I don't. So why are you part of all this? I mean, you're such a hero, and so you picked this gala.
Well, as my Uncle Ben once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And we
I
have
love
great power
that.
in our community.
Yes, we do.
We
Yeah,
have a responsibility to help those in need.
absolutely.
And so that is something we can all rally around.
yes.
And so I know well what the organization does.
Okay.
I see their good works every single day as I'm traveling about, and I'm inspired. And as one superhero to others, we all need to shoulder the responsibility to make this an even better community.
I agree with you, Spider-Man. So we will see you.
I will be there
Okay, and with your friends,
with all of my friends,
And-
and,
Superhero
friends.
friends.
superhero friends.
and I
Absolutely.
trust I'll see you three ladies there as well.
I'm not going
will
to tell
see
you.
me.
Well, are you definitely going to be? Well, you may not see me
What are we
as
gonna
me.
wear?
But you never know what me is going to be. So that's part of it.
Yes, and
Okay.
capes and costumes are optional.
Yes. Okay. Spider-Man, thank you so much, and
Thank you for
for
allowing
visiting
me
us.
Thanks for
to
coming,
drop
Spider-Man.
on in.
And we're going to see. He's going to come back and visit us again. That Spider-Man.
Thank
you
you.
so much. Oh, that's wonderful.
Thanks,
Thank you
Spidey.
so much.
So as Spider-Man said, we believe that you too are superheroes as well.
Oh!
So we wanted to present you each with a Be a Hero
Well, look
cake.
at this. This is.
If you can.
Listen. This
And
is.
Kristin,
Kristen,
thank
take
you
yours.
very much.
This is fantastic.
For
We
being-
have to
we-
kind of right. Can you see that?
Absolutely.
Can you
For
see
being
that?
superheroes in the community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
This is fantastic, and I think we got a couple more clips or no?
We have some photos.
do
We have
have
some
some
photos,
photos.
but
And
we're
the
going to set
signs
that
in
up.
front.
The signs are fantastic, but I just want to say before, and Frank, we're ready to roll those. Look at that, Betty. Would you want to just
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about this clip?
These are some real clients. These are not actors playing, people that are at risk of homelessness. This actually is a mother and her child who we actually gave a vehicle to. So this is
see.
part of our Wheels to Work program, where we have vehicles donated and/or we purchase them if necessary, and/or they're given to us and they need some work, and we get them worked on and then are able to pass them on to those people that need a vehicle. In one case, there was a woman who needed several different types of assistance from us, and a vehicle was one of those types of assistance.
Wow.
So these are just as I said, we specialize in the families, and that's adults with either man or a woman. Sometimes a spousal situation, sometimes a single mother or
Right,
single father. We've
right.
had all kinds of situations, and they have a variety of different kinds of needs.
What's
Okay.
the next one?
So this is again a woman and her child who needed some specific help. I believe that this may be where we provided some rental assistance in this case, where she was able to stay in her apartment and not be evicted because we were able to help with rental assistance. Sometimes, if people are working minimum wage jobs, and these are the people that are, at the McDonald's counter, at the, maybe even your dry cleaner or other types of jobs. You see them in the community, but they're one paycheck away from losing their
Sure they
home.
are.
And so sometimes those are the situations where we come up and help with either a security deposit or rental assistance or other types of assistance. And this is another family that, this was a very special family. You see, their children are a little bit older, but they are still minor children. And so we were able to help them also to stay in their apartment. But these are, as I said, these are real folks. These are not
Actors and
actors.
actresses,
No,
yeah.
these are,
Yeah.
and they've been very brave to allow us to use their images and their stories. And we try and tell a story during each of our galas as well to help people understand and see
Right.
what
It
really
makes it real.
Yeah, there are real people
Right.
behind the stories that we tell.
Wow.
So, another vehicle that we were
Fantastic.
able to give a family. So
Wow. I'm just
Yeah.
holding this up again. Kristen's got her little cape on,
hero,
but just
yes,
be
she
a
does.
hero.
I can feel
It's
the magical
magnificent.
superpowers.
Can't you?
working
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
you know what? Those superpowers are coming from within you outward.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what they're
I just,
doing.
kind of, sometimes I'm lost for words when it comes to Always Home. It's such
Mm-hmm.
a great organization. But I also want to talk about, Betty, there are some opportunities too, some opportunities for sponsorship for that evening.
Absolutely. So as we've said, this town is full of I think, Kristin, you said it, lots of nonprofits, lots of galas, lots of choices. So we're always so appreciative when people come and make that choice to support Always Home at our gala. And we offer them lots of opportunities, lots of
Right.
different opportunities. So they can buy tickets, and they can go to alwayshome.org to do that.
Yep, absolutely.
Quite
Yep.
simply. There's also patron opportunities for people who might want to sit with some friends and buy multiples of tickets and maybe be a little philanthropic on top of the regular ticket price. And then there's sponsorship opportunities still, even though we're just a little bit less than 4 weeks from the gala.
Well, there's always opportunity.
there's always-
I love this poster. This Be a Hero poster. This is a fantastic poster, whoever designed this.
It's actually one of our board members. So we have very talented people in the crew.
And are you honoring anybody this year?
We
or-
are. Yeah, thanks for asking. We are extremely happy to honor Maria Miranda and Miranda
Fantastic,
Creative,
yeah.
the team, her team of folks over there at Miranda Creative. They have partnered with us for several years. They helped us through the name change. Maria is very strategic in her thinking. She's helped us with some marketing
Yeah.
ideas, and the rest of her team has also helped with the design ideas and social media. So, they
Right.
they
They're-
really
they're-
have the
yes,
expertise
yeah.
in helping us through some of our social media posts and activities. They also helped us with the Give Me a Sign campaign, which you
Yes.
were very
Oh,
involved
I
in.
love
and we
that.
Thank you
Yeah.
so very
you're
much
welcome.
for
That was fun. Nancy
That-
Bulkley and I were just, we happened to be there at the same time.
That was
Yeah.
a wonderful
Yeah.
campaign that showed people that, physically with the sign that you might see of a person who's standing in the roadway, holding it with a message, and that, no children should ever have to worry about where they're going to sleep that night, or various sayings. So they've helped us a great deal with visibility of Always Home, because sometimes it's a little bit of a well-kept secret, Always
It is,
Home,
yeah.
and MASH for 20 years.
Right.
But we're really trying to work on our visibility and marketing ourselves so that even more people can be
Right.
superheroes to this
And they also
organization.
can, another thing is to get the word out there so that you can educate yourself on what the organization does. But I will tell you that I've been to many, 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 I think I've only missed one, and that's because I was on travel. But like Kristin said, it's a great party that night.
It's a great party.
Anything to do with a great party, signature drinks or whatever, this is obviously,
Now-
she has said this is her favorite.
There's an
So
auction
there you go.
too, right? There's an auction.
Absolutely,
Right.
and there will
Yes.
there will be a signature drink, and it is a party. We like to say that we like to put the fun in fundraising.
Absolutely.
It's a very, very
Yeah.
serious mission
Yeah.
and very serious work that we do, but we do like to put the fun in it as well. So we usually, for the last 4 or 5 years, we've had a theme, and there will be there'll be actually be a silent auction as well as a live auction with some really great, interesting things, unique things that you don't see at every other live and silent auction.
Well,
we're
and the
very
live
excited.
auction is like, pay for a week of babysitting, or pay for,
Hey, something.
Yes.
and then it goes
Yeah.
up and like pay for a car. I'm
That's
like,
right.
A new
That's right.
car, it's fantastic.
Well, I will tell you,
It's really exciting.
I will tell you that there was, I was going through, you know how you go through these thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures on your, and finally you're like, you got to do something with them on your cell phone. I did find one which I forgot all about. I was in a cowboy hat and a cowboy, and then I was looking at it saying,
Sure.
right before the show, I said, I think that was an Always Home.
Yeah.
Was I?
That was
cowboy?
Home on the Range.
That
Yes,
was
ma'am.
Home on the Range. I'm telling
was
you.
Home
And
on
then,
the Range.
then last year I
Home on the
found
Range.
myself as Tina
Tina
Turner.
Turner.
I'm telling you, it brings out the nuttiness in you. But I like what Spiderman said. As superheroes and heroes of this community, which we all are, there's a responsibility, and the opportunity to be a hero on May 10th is right there for you. And of course, Betty, once again, give us the information.
So it's going to be on May 10th at the Mystic Marriott from 6 to 10, and we invite everybody to join us. You can, the cape and mask are definitely optional. I'm personally not going to be dressing up as Wonder Woman or any other.
Thank God that option's open.
The option is open, Susette. We're very, very happy just to have folks come and join us
enjoy.
and have some fun. And we're very, very pleased to be here today to be able to talk about it. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And as I said, you have an opportunity to be a hero. We are all heroes, actually. But this community has been very good. And get out there and support this gala. It's right there up the street from us, the Mystic Marriott, so it's not far. So I encourage you. It's a lot of fun. And you know what? When you walk away from that, when you've given and you've had an opportunity to be with friends, you're going to feel so, so, so good. So we're going to wrap it up. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. We are Mystic Matters once again. And that is Betty Smith, our interim director for
right.
Always Home.
Suzette.
Thank you, Spider-Man. I hope
you.
you're webbing it someplace. And we are going to see you next week. Good evening. We are Mystic Matters.